Hello, I'm Stewart and Swerdlow.
And Janet Swerdlow.
And this is our Expansions News Podcast for the very middle of October, actually a little bit past the middle of October 2013. And it's been a very busy week. We had the conference, our Kuiper Belt conference last weekend. We had consultations and people here all week. The weather's turned cold and nasty. We've had ice falling this morning here in Michigan with snow coming the rest of the weekend and maybe next week.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. I haven't put my snow sticks out yet, so I have to do that right away.
Of course.
Now, of course, the big news this past week was the closure of the government and the reopening of the government. Did you tell the difference? I couldn't tell the difference. In fact, I think it was better when they weren't around.
I think the wars still went on.
Yeah, but you know what? That was the first government shutdown in 17 years. And it was the first possible default in over 200 years. And isn't it interesting that they waited till the very last second to stop the government default? It's almost like a staged or planned drama that they did for the media. So, I knew that was going to happen on the very, very last day. But of course, what did they really do? The Congress refused to kill the Obamacare. They cut spending and freeze borrowing. And all that's doing is going to add to the deficit and to borrowing costs. And the government says the economy is growing, but it's growing at a record low pace. They're creating jobs, also at a record low pace. And they said they're cutting our deficits in half. However, they raised the debt limit to over $17 trillion. That is an absolute record. So it's like if you're going bankrupt, all you do is just raise your credit limit so you could just charge more. That's brilliant.
Well, they're charging more to themselves anyway, I guess, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and so unfortunately, Obamacare is going to increase spending $1 trillion per year. So no president in history has ever had these kinds of deficits, so he's not helping anything. He's making it worse and worse and worse and worse.
One thing I wanted to tell them was, for example, where we're self-employed and we have to pay for our own health care, I talked to my health insurance agent and he was telling me that I could get, we pay quite a bit a month for health insurance, about a $1,500 a month policy. And he said that would be based on our projected income when we didn't have to substantiate any of that. And he said Obamacare meant that they would pay 70%, so I could get a $1,400 a month policy for $200 or $300. But he said at the end of the year, then things could change drastically. So he recommends we stay with what we have. But the issue is, when I thought about how many people are going to be doing this and what's going to be adding to the cost of the government debt.
Next year is going to be a disaster.
Yes, I agree. It's just
a disaster.
It's
and
headed
this is
that
only
way.
Stopping the default until I think end of January, February, and then there's nothing they're going to do. That's when everything will collapse in February 2014.
Things are changing very quickly.
Yeah. Other interesting news is that British scientists say that they have found out the mystery of the Yeti. Now, here's the thing.
That's my story.
You have a story? No.
Yeah, that's my story right here. But go ahead.
You stole my story.
No, you stole my story.
Well, you could add to my story as you talk about it. I told you I was going to do the Yeti story.
Let's see what your story. No, you didn't.
Anyway, people, they said they never had any evidence of Yeti, that there's no proof, there's nothing. Meanwhile, they found DNA evidence. Where'd that come from? From all of a sudden there was no proof, now they found proof. And then they said the DNA showed that the Yeti is actually related to very ancient polar bear.
Ice Age? Do I smell an Ice Age coming?
Well, I don't know what you're smelling, but I did take a shower. But the thing is, people, if you read my Blue Blood book, what did I say about Bigfoot and Sasquatch? That it is from an Atlantean experiment where they put human DNA with bear. And here it is, I'm proved again. Proved
what?
That I'm right about everything all of the time, despite what everybody says out there. Now, another story, it's one of my favorite stories.
Is it my story too?
It's about the Romanian vehicle. Now, who would ever think Romania came up with some amazing vehicle?
I read that, but I didn't put it on my news.
It's called the Rescue. And it's made by a company, I don't know if it's the initials or the name, it's GHE-O Motors, or Gay Motors. Anyway, This is bigger than a Hummer. It actually shows on the video about the rescue, it shows it pulling a stuck Hummer out of the mud.
Wow.
Or the snow, whatever it was. But in fact, it's so expensive, they won't list the price. If you want it, you have to call for it. And if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be calling. And just a couple of just side note things, since we're in that part of the world, Greek authorities stopped Roma people. You would know them as gypsies, but I guess that's not politically correct anymore. They're called Roma. And there was this caravan of Roma. They didn't say why they were investigating their home, but inside they found this little 4-year-old blonde girl with blue eyes. Now, the parents, so-called parents, didn't have blonde hair. So the police said, aha, something's wrong here. They don't know where the little girl came from. Now, you would think a 4-year-old girl could speak and say, hey, they kidnapped me, or it came from...
But she could have been with him since a baby. We don't know how long she's been there.
I guess it's true, but the thing is, the weird part of the story is usually there's missing children and you got to find them. Well, this time it's missing parents. They have the kid, they don't have the parents. So that's going on in Greece. And just one more comical story. Arnold Schwarzenegger, former governor of California, says that he's looking to change the law in the U.S. so he can run for president because, of course, you have to be born in the U.S. to be president, but that's not what we have now. So really...
What's the difference?
Really?
But if he can get the law changed, and then if it should come out publicly about Obama,
then it won't matter.
Then that's right. So
except that it would have been after the fact.
Well, but then they'll probably write some law that says that's okay.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is that here we have the son of a former Nazi soldier who wants to be president.
Well, he's the governor of California, or was.
President Arnold, hello.
So
I am
what's the
President
difference?
Arnold. We are going to invade Canada.
Well, we here in Michigan have a Canadian governor.
We did. She left.
Well, but the point being
I guess there wasn't enough maple syrup and bacon in Michigan.
Maybe not. Oh, well, how sad.
Yeah. But go on now to your turn.
Okay. I have a couple of stories here that are, I try to pick up things that are a little bit more interesting and fun, if you want to call them that. One story I didn't put on here, I really debated about, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway because it's very strange that there was a man who actually a very famous photographer right by now, who's young, spent time photographing his mother in a variety of sexual positions.
Oh, sicko.
Yeah, and with other young men as her lovers. So I just pointed that out there because I think it was in London. I'll find the link and we'll get it posted now that I made up my mind to tell you about it, because it's like, why does this even get out there for people to see? So that's why I'm telling you about that particular one. Also, now there is a 31-year-old female model who has decided to pose as a male model. Now she's married, she has a family, it's not about sexuality with this woman, but now she goes by Elliot Sailors, S-A-I-L-O-R-S, Elliot Sailors, you can look her up online, because she wants to extend her career, because she says at 25, for most models, that is the mid of their career. And
that's why I had to give up my modeling
I understand. Career. Well, you're not much past 25 though, so...
I'm just barely, but they said no, they said
maybe
no.
you could extend your life and just be a female model or something.
Well, I have the boobs for that. Oh, no, I can't say boobs. The breasts.
Chest.
Yes.
We could make them dance on camera.
They have to pay a lot of money for that.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you won't go those places because it's not politically correct, I also wanted to tell you about a brain eating competition. Now the zombie stuff...
First you have to have a brain.
I know. And the zombie stuff is all over the place, the blood and guts and the death. In fact, again, these are things I'm looking at and thinking, should I talk about these or not? But I guess we need to be aware of them. But on Facebook, there was an article on there about what's going on in the fashion industry of all places. There is a lot of showing models being raped, S&M, the sadism and masochism, bondage, dead. It just, what's going on out there is amazing, because I don't read this type of thing as a general rule, so if it crosses my desk on the internet, that's where I'm going to see it. So anyway, that's out there. So this is called a zombie pub crawl, or was a zombie pub crawl in Minneapolis, where they had a brain eating competition. Now, from pork. Now, what I will tell you is at one time when people were small farmers, then they butchered their cows, they ate the brains, or they ate the brains because that actually it's a glandular food that does feed that particular part of your body. So again, for the correct reason and the correct timing, it has its place. But this is about eating your own brain and becoming a zombie, basically not having one. So Joey Chestnut actually ate 54 pork brain tacos in one. But again, it's all about the imprinting. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because we haven't seen that happen before. At least I haven't. Disney research, and it said a lot of people aren't aware that Disney has a huge research center. And I don't know this for a fact, maybe you do, but I've always felt that it was connected to NASA. Because
that's
of
all Illuminati
yeah,
stuff.
And so all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes for when you go on these rides, you're kind of a test for their programming for the whole NSA government stuff that's going on. They have developed a touch screen that actually makes you feel like you're like there's tactile touch to it. So if you look at a map, you can actually touch it and feel the mountains and the lakes and so forth. So this is coming up. They're giving you the sensation that whatever's going on is 3D. So, they're going to bring that forward to probably the hologram.
You know what that reminds me of what's coming next?
What?
Remember that Woody Allen movie Sleeper?
I didn't like
When
Woody Allen.
They had an orgasmatron.
No, I don't like Woody Allen.
So instead of a touch screen, you have an orgasmatron.
To me, in my opinion, he's a pedophile sleeping with his stepdaughter.
Woody Allen is a nice person.
I don't think so. I don't
Very
care for him. I don't think so, and I don't like what he did, so I don't deal with him. Okay, and my last story, Pope Francis offers indulgences to Twitter social media followers of World Youth Day. Now, you can explain to them what an indulgence is.
Well, that happened in the Middle Ages when the Catholic Church sold documents that absolved you of sin before you committed a crime.
Right. And so, when this came again across my desk, I thought, oh, this is something new. However, this actually happened in July. So why they're bringing it into the internet now?
I might buy one of those indulgences.
I don't know. But now they're saying, no, not this kind of indulgence, but it's actually a plenary indulgence, which means complete relief from the suffering of purgatory, which is when you die
I need that.
and you review your life. That's what purgatory is if you're not Catholic and you don't know. So, of course, the rich people can buy the indulgences or the plenary ones, and the poor people have to suffer and go through longer purgatory. So, of course, it's a good way for the Catholic Church to raise some money.
We have to celebrate World Youth Day, huh?
Yeah. Well, if they couldn't make it, apparently a plenary indulgence is if they made some kind of a pilgrimage somewhere. Then they would get like this exemption from purgatory.
Okay. I'm going to go for that.
Yeah, anyway, so just all kinds of strange things that are going on out there. And anyway, another thing
Do they have a package, like different indulgences? You got like a package deal?
Probably. But when I went to go look up my original link for this, that had been taken down because it wasn't said properly that it's a plenary indulgence, not just a regular indulgence.
Of course.
So anyway, so if you are doing bad stuff out there, I suggest you join the Catholic Church.
Does the Vatican accept credit cards?
They probably accept
I don't have
everything
a lot of
right
cash
now.
right now.
I know they accept gold, jewelry, probably fillings from your teeth, whatever.
Well, maybe some blood. They could just take some blood.
They worship that.
Yeah.
I've seen them kissing. What was the last one that died? Last one that died.
John Paul II.
Yeah, that one. They had his blood. They were worshiping that in a cathedral and kissing it and praying to it and so forth. So blood ritual, is right mainstream. So don't ask us, don't write in and say, when's it going to happen? Because it's happening.
I think maybe expansions should sell indulgences.
That might be
for
a good idea.
hyperspace crimes.
All right.
I think so.
For ones they're thinking about doing? Or
Yes.
maybe, how about for other lifelines, simultaneous existence ones?
We can have a package.
There you go.
I'm going to speak to Francis and see what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you've got...
Francis is me like this.
Yeah, that's what I hear. You've got connections somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so that's on the list. Where are you going to go? Not to hell, but not to purgatory, but to...
I will have to use the bathroom.
Yeah. How about down under?
Yeah, I said the
down
bathroom.
Down under the table.
Oh. Yes, I will be leaving in very shortly to Australia to do my training class for 1 week.
That's right. So November, check on the website if you want to go to the Hyperspace Oversoul Extravaganza Week. It's an incredible time to get some one-on-one time in the midst of a group, I should say.
Yes.
But in the group, you get a lot of personal attention.
There will be mirth in Perth.
It will be mirth in Perth, and it's a very, very good information. So if you're interested in hyperspace oversoul work, and you're in the southern hemisphere, or you're just in the northern hemisphere and you want to go to the southern hemisphere, you can do that.
Yeah.
Or in January we have the class here, and during this class I actually do some cooking for you.
Oh
and
yeah, very good cooking.
I'll participate. So we have lots of stuff coming
Maybe
up.
you'll make some brain tacos.
I could do that.
Yeah.
And
And?
what else?
What else?
Oh, memberships. We
yes.
have gotyourexpansions.com membership. We have now got posted on our membership side, Hyperspace and Oversoul Basics. We have Advanced Hyperspace and Oversoul Techniques going on. And we have Montauk Madness going on. And I hear rumors that the Kuiper Belt Connection might eventually get on there too. Oh, and True World History. That series is in the process of being uploaded. So we're step by step getting the site reloaded again for you.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your membership, get that monthly blog. Next month is going to be called Dumping the Debris. That's going to be my blog. This one we are working on Lighting Your Darkness. So I've got lots of stuff going on that helps you move forward in your daily life, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you advance when you connect with like-minded people on the same page, going for the same goal, which is really about self-empowerment.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, so we're done.
And we'll see you next time. And I will see them one more time before
Before
I
you
go.
leave? Okay,
Yeah.
one more time.
I'll see you
All right,
next time.
bye-bye.